up, squad? MizzyWorld Entertainment is back to present another episode of MadMizzy Sports in the AM. And y'all know where we typically like to start off MadMizzy Sports, and that's with Thursday night football or Monday night football. Going back to Monday night football because it's the Thursday episode. You dig what I'm saying? And we had the Cowboys go in to Las Vegas and put a beat down on the Las Vegas Raiders, 33-16, man. And my takeaway is Geno Smith has reverted back to a pumpkin. You feel what I'm saying? My man just cannot stop throwing interceptions. He can't stop turning the ball over. He had another interception on Monday night uh in the 33-16 beatdown. They only ran the ball 12 times. I don't know what Pete Carroll is doing out there, bro. I think he might be going to see now. You feel what I'm saying? Because his whole regime and his whole coaching philosophy has been run the ball and play great defense. They not doing neither right now. You dig what I'm saying? They getting gashed on the defense. They not running the ball. 12 rushes. What the hell did you get Ashton Dempsey for to run them 6 times, bro? What did you draft them top 5 in the draft for if you only gonna run them 10 times, 5, 6 times? You get what I'm saying? The last high draft pick that was a running back that I remember is Jameer Gibbs. The Lions trade up to get him. Everybody like, oh, what they doing? And look, Jameer Gibbs is one of the most explosive running backs in the game. You see why they drafted him. We don't know why the Raiders drafted Ashton Dempsey. And I don't think it's Ashton Dempsey's fault at all. You gave the man 6 rushes. You keep throwing the ball with Geno Smith, and the man keeps throwing interceptions. What are you doing? Make an adjustment. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I just don't get why you keep going out there and making the same mistakes time and time again. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me. You feel me? So I just don't get what they're doing. My man has 13 interceptions on the year, only 12 touchdowns. You dig what I'm saying? Geno Smith has reverted back to being a bust. They reverted back to writing his ass off. You feel what I'm saying? His ass need to start writing back. You digs? Because this thinking that you got out of that rut because you had a little run with the Seahawks, that's not the case, man. Everybody had the Raiders being this prime time team that was at least going to compete in the West, at least compete in the AFC West. 2-8 on the season, bro. Getting absolutely demolished and embarrassed week in, week out. That's a shame, bro. Especially like I said, I don't trust the Cowboys as being a real team. They let Jacoby Brissett come into Jerry's world and put the beat down on them. That's just how bad the Las Vegas Raiders are. And I should have went with my gut and said, nah, the Cowboys, they gonna figure out a way to crush this tomato can. But no, I still ain't gonna trust the Cowboys as a real team. I just know the Las Vegas Raiders might be the worst team in the NFL. Point blank period. I would probably take the the Titans over the Las Vegas Raiders if they was to play on Sunday. You dig what I'm saying? They are horrendous, garbage, and a disappointment to such a great NFL season that's filled with parity. You get what I'm saying? We've seen the Dolphins turn it around. We've seen a bunch of teams turn it around or get wins when we've written them off. This Las Vegas Raiders team stinks. You dig what I'm saying? It's utterly ridiculous how bad they are and how inept and how they keep going through the same stuff. They keep going out there week after week, throwing the ball 40 plus times a game, and Geno Smith keeps going out there throwing at least one interception a game. You dig what I'm saying? So wasn't no surprise that it continued to happen on Monday Night Football. You had the Cowboys go off, which you had 4 touchdowns from Dak Prescott, 4 touchdowns from Dak Prescott, had a touchdown from CD Lamb, had a touchdown for George Pickens. Everybody eat. Like Oprah was out there, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eats. You feel what I'm saying? Like A Boogie running the block. Everybody eats, B. Everybody eats. You feel what I'm saying? So it was not shocking at all, but it is to me just disappointing because a lot of people thought that the Las Vegas Raiders were just going to be a lot more competitive, man. A lot more competitive. Max Crosby pulling himself out of plays because he thinking that it's a false start. Bro, you got to play through the whistle. I know the frustration building up, but you can't pull yourself out to play and start talking to the ref while dudes running to the end zone. What are we doing? And that was supposed to be another thing that Pete Carroll brought to every team that he's coached. That's discipline. That's effort. That's hard work. They don't look like they doing any of that, bruh. Don't look like they doing any of that. They look like a amateur team out there, bro. They look like an amateur team, and they got way too much talent to be looking that inept, looking that bad. Why is Geno Smith still in the game? Why is he still out there, bro? Put somebody else in there. What's the running backup they got out there? I forgot boy name, but they need to put him out there. You know what I'm saying? Whoever he is. You feel me? Geno Smith got more interceptions than he got touchdowns 10, 11, 12 weeks through the season. Bench that man. How is he still out there, bro? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. But I digress. Good win for the Cowboys. I don't think it's going. And they ain't making the playoffs. It was a win. It was a nice win. I appreciate it. George Pickens on my fantasy squad. But yeah, man, I was more disappointed by the Las Vegas Raiders than I was impressed by the Dallas Cowboys, which I'm pretty sure was the case with everybody. You dig what I'm saying? Let's move on, though. Let's get into a lot of QB news that's floating around right now, man. We hearing frustration out of the Eagles organization with Jalen Hurts. Is this warranted frustration? I think not. Hell no. Why are they frustrated at Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts should be the one coming up to the podium talking about, damn, bro, what more do y'all want me to do? What more? You feel me? 2, 3 years ago, he's second in the MVP. You dig what I'm saying? Takes the Eagles to the Super Bowl. They lose in a close, great Super Bowl matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Next year, they start off winning 10 straight games, but everybody, oh, they not this good. They end up imploding, losing what the last 6, 7 games, whatever the case may be. They lose in the playoffs to the Tampa Bay Bucks, and boom, we got to come back next year. This past year, they starting off a little slow. I think they was what 2-2, yeah, I think 2-2, 4 game mark. Didn't lose after that. You know what I'm saying? Go on a 14, 15, 16 game winning streak, dominating. You dig what I'm saying? But it's also like Saquon Barkley was getting loose. They was opening up holes. They were protecting Jalen. Dudes was getting open. You dig what I'm saying? And now you come back this year and Saquon Barkley isn't doing the same. He was averaging 124 yards a game last year. He's averaging like 64 yards a game this year. AJ Brown can't get open to save his life. Every catch that he's had, every reception that he's had has been a tough, contested catch. This is a statistic that everybody knows. This is a statistic that everybody's been talking about since 3, 4 weeks ago. AJ Brown just does not get separation anymore. But he's the one that's frustrated. He's the one, oh, I ain't getting the ball. I ain't doing it. I ain't getting this. I ain't getting that. Why Devontae ain't out there snapping? Devontae getting open. Devontae should be getting more balls. Why Dallas Goedert ain't out there snapping? Dallas Goedert should be getting more targets. He should be getting more balls. Why Saquon Barkley not out there complaining about that offensive line not opening up no holes like they was last year? You dig what I'm saying? To go from, I believe, 5.4 yards a carry last year to now just being over 4 yards a carry this year. That's what's adding into them not having as many explosive plays and the offense not looking as good. Not to mention, it's another OC. I don't get why we keep blaming Jalen Hurts like this dude hasn't been going through a different offensive coordinator since he left high school. Since he left high school, bro. Through Bama, through Oklahoma, and now with the Eagles. He's had a different offensive coordinator every single year. But the frustration is with Jalen Hurts. No, the appreciation should be with Jalen Hurts. That he keeps everything even keeled. That he keeps everything calm. He keeps the storm down. You get what I'm saying? Because if he let the shit fester and he was one of these other quarterbacks that fed into it, the Eagles would not be as good as they are. Point blank period. They would not be winning games. Because Jalen Hurts is making the winning plays. Whether they show up and the stats look good or not, or they look pretty or not, they are 8-2 because Jalen Hurts is leading that team. Point blank period. And that's all that matters. I don't get why this frustration with the Eagles organization with Jalen Hurts, the current reigning Super Bowl MVP. After they just beat the brakes off of the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl to stop they three-peat. Where's the what frustration? What are y'all expecting, bro? To be undefeated? Because at the end of the day, You can't put all the shortcomings of that offense on Jalen Hurts. Honestly, I don't think you can put none of it on Jalen Hurts. You dig what I'm saying? The OC not calling the proper plays, the offensive line not opening up holes like that, Lane Johnson hobbling all over the field. You dig what I'm saying? Jordan Mailata out there jumping the line and all that. They got to get more. They got to get better. It's just simple. As a team, as a collective unit, they have to get better. And I don't think putting the frustration on Jalen Hurts is the solution. Now Jalen Hurts can handle it, and he has handled it. But I think that it's just utterly ridiculous that it's frustration with the reigning Super Bowl MVP. Is there frustration in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes? Hell no. Is there frustration in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson? Hell no. Is there frustration in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow rehabbing his broke ass foot? Hell no. You dig what I'm saying? So why is there frustration in Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts when they 8-2? And that's solely because this man is a great leader, bro, and a great winner. He's a winner. He's always been a winner. He will always be a winner. You gotta appreciate that, Philly. It ain't the fans. I know it ain't the fans. But to hear leaks that the organization is frustrated, or people in the organization is frustrated with Jalen Hurts, who? Put a name on that shit, bro. Put a name on that. You feel what I'm saying? That's the ring. I'm gonna say it again. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, bro. What are we talking about? They 8-2. What are we talking about? Is there frustration in Detroit with Jared Goff? Hell no. Come on, man. Like, what are we? Put some appreciation on that man's name, man, and have some continuity with his offensive coordinators, please. You digs? Let's get over to Baltimore, where I was just talking about. Lamar Jackson misses another practice with an ankle injury this week, this past Wednesday, yesterday. And I just wanted to say, is there concern with Lamar Jackson? Y'all know I'm the biggest Lamar Jackson fan out there. Been rooting for him since he's been in Louisville when they were trying to change him to wide receiver. And I said, oh no, that man got an arm. And if you put him at the quarterback position with his speed, agility, and quickness, it is going to break the NFL. And it has. No, I'm not. No, I'm not concerned with Lamar Jackson. Again, like I tell everybody else, he never has a major injury. Okay, he got a hurt ankle. They want to sit him out for a practice. That's cool. That's cool. At the end of the day, I don't care if he missed a couple practices. That man know the offense. He knows Todd Monken. As long as he come out there on Sunday and he feeling 85, 90% healthy, then he good, bro. He's better than every other quarterback in the league not named Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. So at the end of the day, I'm not concerned at all with Lamar Jackson. I'm concerned with the offensive line. I'm concerned with how they're going to counterattack him being blitzed so much this year. He has the highest blitz rate of any quarterback this year. I believe it's 54.4% of the time he's being blitzed. That's because they want to get the ball out of his hands. They don't want him sitting back there because guess what? He's Peyton Manning when he sits in the pocket. He's shredding defenses up when he sits in the pocket. So what they're doing is they're blitzing him, trying to get him out the pocket or trying to get the ball out of his hands immediately. So Todd Monken has to figure out a counterattack to how defenses are attacking Lamar Jackson right now. But once they figure that out, they'll be perfectly fine. They are getting a run game going. It's getting colder, so Derrick Henry will get it rolling a lot more, and that will slow down the pass rush and help the offensive line a lot more. I'm not concerned at all. I got trust in Lamar Jackson. I got trust in Todd Monken, and I got trust in John Harbaugh as well. I know people want to sit out there and blame whoever for whatever reason of why teams aren't getting over the hump. At the end of the day, I done watched Andy Reid not get over the hump for years and years with a great Donovan McNabb. You dig what I'm saying? Sometimes that's just the way the dice rolls. And now he's on a win. Like now he's one of the greatest because he's winning with Patrick Mahomes. We done seen Bill Belichick look unstoppable with Tom Brady. Now he can't sniff a win without Tom Brady. You dig what I'm saying? So that's just how the dice rolls. We can't just be blaming people for why they can't get over the hump when it's only one team that's going to win every year. And when the teams do win, the other thing I don't get, y'all don't give Nick Sirianni his props for beating the brakes off of the Kansas City Chiefs, and y'all don't give Jalen Hurts his props for beating the brakes off of the Kansas City Chiefs. So where are we coming? Where are we coming to an agreement of what's expected? You dig what I'm saying? You can't blame John Harbaugh because they don't have all these Super Bowl wins. But then when Nick Sirianni has been to two of the past three Super Bowls and won one, we still don't credit him as one of the top coaches in the NFL. Or Jalen Hurts is one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. But y'all still discredit Lamar Jackson for not having a Super Bowl ring. What do y'all want, bro? What do y'all want? I don't get it. Everybody's not going to be Patrick Mahomes and go out there and have multiple Super Bowl rings and multiple MVPs, bro, within 6 years of their career. That's just not going to happen, bro. So at the end of the day, I have trust and faith in Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, Todd Monken. They'll get it right. I'm not concerned with no injuries. They're going to get it right. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the AFC North. That's what it is. And we'll be seeing y'all in January. And we'll see how the dice rolls from there. All you got to do is get in the dance, baby. All you got to do is get in the dance. And I have no concerns about Lamar Jackson leading the Baltimore Ravens to an AFC North title and getting into the playoffs. Let's move on to some more quarterback injuries, though. Aaron Rodgers, man, they talking about him sitting out for health concerns or for safety concerns. For safety, we know it's health concerns. He has an injured, fractured, left wrist. But yes, he should sit down because before his wrist injury, he wasn't standing in there. He wasn't taking the shots. He wasn't being an NFL quarterback. So you think with an injured wrist, he going to stand in there even more? Going to Chicago, going up against the Bears, and that defense, that turnover prone defense, they got the number one turnover differential in the NFL right now, and at plus 16. Kevin Byard back to being the ball hawk that he's been his entire career. Every time you turn, it's like every other year, Kevin Byard is leading the NFL in interceptions. You dig what I'm saying? And he's back to doing that again this year after he had a little layoff from leaving Tennessee Titans. He was bouncing around, found a home in Chicago, and he's back to being a ball hawk that we know and love. And I just don't think Aaron Rodgers should be trying to rush back, especially when you look at the statistics from Sunday. He wasn't, Mason Rudolph might have been better. Mason Rudolph might have been better than Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. He had more passing yards. They had the same amount of touchdowns. He didn't take a sack. Aaron Rodgers did take a sack. So we can make the argument on who better or who wasn't better. But at the end of the day, Mason Rudolph came in and they exploded. It was a close game when Aaron Rodgers was in there. I'm thinking, oh, the Bengals got a chance to sweep the Steelers. Nah, not when Mason come in there. Not when Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer came in there. You feel what I'm saying? Slinging the ball all over the yard and doing his thug fizzle. You dig what I'm saying? So if you seeing that you got a backup that's a competent backup and can have the team still rolling and flowing and winning, then you don't want to rush back an older quarterback that's dealing with injuries and is already a little hesitant on standing in the pocket. He's already turning his back away and not trying to take these hits. You think he's going to stand in there and take them hits with a fractured wrist now? I don't care if it's his non-throwing wrist or not. That shit hurt. You feel what I'm saying? So it makes sense for Aaron Rodgers to sit out for safety reasons. He probably could play if they needed to play or if they thought they didn't have a competent backup. But when you got Mason Rudolph, he goes out there and he matches or exceeds Aaron Rodgers' stats in his time in the playing time that he did have on Sunday against the Cincinnati Bengals, then there's no need to rush him back. There's no need to rush him back. So send Mason Rudolph out there. We don't know how it's going to go. It's going to be a tough matchup regardless going into Chicago up against that tough defense, that turnover prone defense, and that ball control offense. Like Caleb Williams is playing beautiful ball as far as taking care of the ball and getting the ball into the playmaker's hands. So going out to Chicago in that windy, cold city with a broken or fractured wrist, nah, sit that man down, let him get healthy. He's 40 plus years old. No need to rush him back. Makes a bunch of sense in my eyes. Let's get over to some more news, though. We got Shedeur officially being named the starter for Sunday's game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And my big advice to Shedeur is don't lose the game, bro. That's it. I just expressed how garbage the Las Vegas Raiders are, bro. And I know everybody knows how good that Cleveland Browns defense is. They have the number 2 scoring defense in the NFL right now. I think they top 5 in sacks. They're going to get after Geno. They're going to get some turnovers. Shedeur just can't match Geno in his stupid ass play. Go out there, play Dylan Gabriel, ball control type football. You dig what I'm saying? Take care of the ball, get the ball out of your hands, run the ball, and they should come out of there with an easy victory. You dig what I'm saying? Just don't go out there and feel like you have to do too much, Shedeur. That's it. Just play the game as it comes. Let the game come to you as like a point guard. Just let the game come to you. Don't always look for the big play. Don't hold on to the ball too long. When you see somebody, hit them. You dig what I'm saying? If Max Crosby coming off that edge, don't try to be running backwards and spinning this way, spinning that way. Get down, bro, or get the ball out your hands when you see Max coming. Don't Max ruin this game, and they should come out with an easy victory. You dig what I'm saying? You got Quinshawn Junkins, the running back, the rookie running back. He's having an amazing year this year. Run him, take care of the ball, and let Geno Smith throw the game away. You dig what I'm saying? And Shedeur should be coming back Monday. I should be having my show talking about Shedeur Sanders having a W under his belt. No turnovers, play clean ball, get the ball out your hands, don't do too much, and y'all should easily come out with a win against that amateur team with the Las Vegas Raiders. You dig what I'm saying? It's a bounce back game for Shedeur. Don't try to do too much because y'all didn't score in the second half or feeling like you got this extra pressure. You sitting on the sidelines acting like you lost game 7. You got a full game, a full week of preparation. Go out there and show what you got, Shedeur. But don't try to do too much because at the end of the day, there's not that much talent on the Cleveland Browns offense. There's a reason why they don't score that much. It ain't that talented out there. Your number one receiver is Jerry Jeudy, who got exposed 2 years ago by Steve Smith. And instead of him saying, all right, Steve Smith, let me listen to what you got to say. Let me take your constructive criticism. Let me apply it to my game. Matter of fact, come out here and train me. Let me know how you was so dominant at your position at your time. No, he didn't do that. He wanted to pout like everybody, all these Gen Zs nowadays, they get a little bit of trepidation or a little bit of constructive criticism. They want to pout and don't say nothing to me. Steve Smith is a Hall of Fame wide receiver or going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He was dominant during his time, definitely better than Jerry Jeudy, and that's y'all number one. You dig what I'm saying? Tillman is good. I like Tillman, but he ain't no dominant wide receiver. Don't try to go out there and do too much. Play a clean game, and y'all should easily beat the Las Vegas Raiders. Because, like I said, they're not going to run Ashton Jincy. Even if they do, that defense of the Cleveland Browns going to shut Ashton Jincy down. They're going to force Geno Smith to throw the ball. And Geno Smith, when he throws the ball this year, he throws a bunch of interceptions. So I'm expecting at least one interception from Geno Smith this Sunday. And if Shedeur Sanders can play a clean game, I expect a win of 10 or more points. You dig what I'm saying? So play a clean game and take advantage of this opportunity. And just like I was telling everybody on the internet, he's going to play eventually. It's too much football. And the Browns got a shitty offensive line. I knew Dylan Gabriel was going to eventually get hurt. He was taking 6 sacks a game. You know what I'm saying? Ain't don't nobody survive behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? So and we see Lamar Jackson hurt because he always getting sacked now. What you think going to happen to Dylan Gabriel? He got hurt, like I said. So go out there, take advantage of the door, but don't do too much. Taking advantage isn't going out there and thinking you got to throw for 300, 400 yards, bro. Nah, 200, 250, touchdown or two. And a clean game is all you need to beat that bum Las Vegas Raiders team and get you to another start the following week. You dig what I'm saying? As long as you keep winning and you keep playing clean, Dylan Gabriel ain't coming back to get that job. And you should finish off this season as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Let's get over to some college football news, though, man. This was huge news, and I feel like it's just a great hire for Virginia Tech, man. James Franklin, the former Penn State head coach, being hired as the head coach for Virginia Tech. I've never seen nothing like this. My man he about to coach 2 different colleges in the same season. I've never seen it. Penn State got fired after, I mean, he had to get fired after you lose to a winless UCLA team, and then they fell short against Oregon. Got to get up out of here, James. But his recruiting is never in question. He's recruited some of the best players that are in the NFL right now. Saquon Barkley, Chris Godwin, Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter, a bunch of players from Penn State that's out in the NFL doing a thing were recruited by James Franklin. So for him to go out there and get the head coaching job at Virginia Tech, that The Virginia Tech hasn't been VTech since Frank Beamer. They even hired his son. I forgot his name, but they ain't been the same since Beamer ball, and he been gone, I believe, at least what 15 years now. You dig what I'm saying? So it'll be exciting to see James Franklin implement all that talent and all that recruiting acumen that he has and put it into Virginia Tech and see Virginia Tech get that talent back, man. It's a lot of talent in Virginia. He's still not too far from Pennsylvania and Jersey and Maryland, three of the biggest recruiting hotbeds in the Northeast. So he's still going to be doing his thing. He's still going to be putting out great recruiting classes. It's just going to be, can he get over the hump? And I believe now, since he's been fired and had to sit back and reflect, I think he'll figure out a way to get Virginia Tech to a national championship and to win some big games. He may not be the best of the best, but I think they can go out there and have a little run like Clemson did for 3, 4 years where they good, they nice, they dominant, they up there in the national talks for those 3, 4 years. I believe that James Franklin can do that for Virginia Tech in the ACC. So great hire for Virginia Tech, and congratulations to James Franklin. He was on Pat McAfee's show yesterday, and just hearing his excitement and his plan, they're gonna be a good team in about 2, 3 years. They're gonna be a very, very good team in about 2, 3 years. So great hire for Virginia Tech, and congratulations to James Franklin, man. Let's get over to Thursday night football, man. The entree, the meat of the show, where we here to break down and predict our Thursday night football matchup, man. We got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Houston to take on the Texans, man. And we got the number one defense in the NFL, number one scoring defense in the NFL, the Houston Texans. And I think they're going to shut down, not shut down, but they're going to contain Josh Allen, and more importantly, James Cook. If James Cook doesn't cook, then that Buffalo Bills offense just isn't the same. I don't think Josh Allen is going to be able to go out there and run all over that Houston Texans defense like he was against the Tampa Bay Bucks. They don't have any weapons like that. I don't know if Keon Coleman is going to be coming back this Thursday. He probably will, but the Buffalo Bills, I don't think that they're going to cover this spread. It's a 6 point spread or a 5.5 point spread, depending on which betting app that you're going on. But I'm gonna go with the spread that I went with. That's 5.5 points. And I think that the Texans can cover that spread. I'm going to go with the Texans in this game. I'm looking at the Bills. They got the 31st ranked run defense. And I like the guys, what's his name, Marks out there for the Houston Texans. I think he's going to have a big game. So I went with the over on the rush yards for Marks, 65.5 rush yards on a team that gives up 140 rush yards a game in the Buffalo Bills. And we seen that last week. They was giving up big runs left and right to whoever that the backup was, because uh it wasn't Rashad White out there, and it wasn't what's the other guy's name? What's the other running back name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Bucky. It wasn't Bucky out there, and it wasn't Rashad White out there. It was number 44 just breaking on them left and right. So the Bills defense to me is definitely soft and up, and I think they're gonna give up some big plays to the Houston Texans. And then you think about the Houston Texans, they got a solid backup. We gotta not forget that what's his name? Dang, I be moving so fast, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The quarterback for the Houston Texans, he was a top pick not too long ago. They just picked C.J. Stroud the very next year because they didn't think that he was the one. But he's a very, very solid backup. I think he's going to come out there. I think he's going to have a solid game, and I think they're going to win outright. But I'm definitely taking them plus the 5.5 points at home with the number one scoring defense and going up against the 31st run defense. Run the ball, shorten the game against the Buffalo Bills, and shut down James Cook. I think that they can come out with an overall outright win. Give me the Texans in this game, and give me the over on the rush yards for Marks. That's 65.5 rush yards on what I believe. Well, the betting app that I'm using, DraftKings, is 65.5 rush yards, and I went with the over on that. And I think that's an easy over. Think that that's an easy cover in Houston. They know they got to keep pace with the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. While the Buffalo Bills, yeah, they got to keep pace, but right now they looking real good as far as at least being a wild card, because they still at least they 8-2. So they good as far as making it into the playoffs. They might still want that AFC East and chasing down that number one seed. That might be motivation, but I think it's a little bit more motivation for the Houston Texans to keep pace with that AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts, and the rest of the wild card teams as far as the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. So give me the Houston Texans tonight and give me the over on the Marks rush yards. That's MadMizzy Sports in the AM Thursday episode. I will be back Sunday with Sunday mornings with Mizzy. This is Mizzy World Entertainment. Enjoy the games tonight. Have a great day, and we'll be back Sunday. Squad.